Okay, everyone. I'm delighted to welcome Ian Dickson back again. Such was the warm reception to the first part of his interview. It was only right to go again. And as I say, I'm delighted to rejoin talking with Ian Dickson, who is the CEO of Cage Gladiators Ireland, based in Belfast. A man who's had an incredible life and best shared in his own words. So, Ian, last time we had an incredible conversation and we got round to just beginning to touch upon many of the other remarkable men and companies you're involved in. Could you continue from where we left off, please, brother?
Certainly, Jim. Brilliant. Nice to be speaking again. Nice to see you. You're
Likewise.
looking well tonight.
Cheers.
Yes, basically we have four companies. We have IFC, which is International Fighting Championships, which is the holding company for all our other companies. Mm-hmm. And it's also a promotional company for the other companies also. We have Rehab Youth Ireland, which the the CEO of that is John Clark, mm-hmm. my best bro. And we have Section 75, which is run by Dave Bell, who's the CEO of Section 75. He deals with all the bonds, etc. But we'll go into that shortly, one by one. We also have the Sharon Project, which is running at the minute, which is all about looking after the youth, looking after the disabled, and so on and so forth. But as I say, we'll go back into that in a wee short space of time here.
Sure.
We also have our tournament, which I like to talk about, in connection with the Sharon Project and the setting up of rehab youth, basically in each country, with running in conjunction with Cage Gladiators. Right, well, as I say, IFC, it's a holding company for all the other companies. But basically, what I'm going to do, we have the Olympic Games. IFC and cage fighting is not recognised within the Olympic system. Basically, they haven't taken on board MMA. They look at it in a bad way. But as I say, I intend to enhance that and put it forward to them and make it a realistic journey.
Right.
IFC, I want to become the new World Olympics. I want to put MMA in big time through our holding company, which is IFC, as I said before, using Cage Gladiators. Mm-hmm. Now, Cage Gladiators, as you're all aware, I now have 21 Cage Gladiators outposts throughout the world. Mm-hmm. Now, these will be run by directors, of which appointed by myself, excuse me, which appointed by myself, and they will run events. Now, Cage Gladiators will run in conjunction with Rehab Youth. Now, let me explain a wee bit more. Basically, we have Cage Gladiators, Morocco, Germany, so on and so forth. When we stage an event every month for 12 months, we will bring in Rehab Youth as well.
Right.
Basically, what that means, when we put fights on, we put an event on, there will be a percentage of that fight, that event, that show put forward into Rehab Youth.
Lovely, yeah.
And basically, that will stay in that country to facilitate the youth and the people that need our support and help. Should it be poor people on the street? Should it be rehoming people? Should it be putting events on for them? Should it be giving them money? Should it be helping them without food, etc., etc.?
Sure.
That's the whole purpose of it. And the whole purpose of the two working in conjunction will be in each country, and it will work the same system in each country right throughout the world. There will always be a percentage put in each time there's an event. Now, the events will run 4 times per year in each country.
Yeah.
Now, each country will also have what we like to call a Friday Fight Night. Now, the Friday Fight Night, again, will be an event, but not such a showcase as the events. And anything that comes from that as well will be put in through the Rehab Youth. So basically, we'll have Rehab Youth Ireland, we'll have Rehab Youth Germany, we'll have Rehab Youth France,
Sure.
Italy, and so on in Brazil. And as I say, the monetary funds will go in as a percentage and be used appropriately within that country. Basically, that's that covered basically, and we'll run on to Section 75 here. Now, Section 75 is run by Mr. Dave Bell. Dave Bell lives down south, and Dave has access to all the A-list bands, all the A-list singers, so on and so forth. We want it in the artistic world for a show. Dave's the man who brings it in.
Okay.
He works in conjunction with a travel agent, and we also use Section 75 to bring in our fighters.
Okay.
Dave also sets up hotels, sets up everything that we require for accommodation to look after them fighters within that period of time, coming from country to country. He will also bring our show girls in, our board girls. He will also bring them in, and he'll bring us in and out of the country. So basically, a transportation side of life. Dave's your man. And what we have as well, there's one thing I did actually forget to say, James. We also have Cage Gladiators basketball team.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we're actually starting that off in Manila at this moment in time. It's well advanced. All the new shirts and all are getting printed. Everything's going ahead.
Yeah.
And we're working on it big time. And what we intend to do with the basketball side of life is have Cage Gladiators Basketball Ireland and so on, the same as everything else, right throughout the world.
Oh, magic.
So we're going to keep the movement going, keep it going big time, and keep it rolling. So between the Cage Gladiators fights, and I keep saying fights, they're events.
Yes.
The events and the shows. We'll be bringing in the basketball teams to do events and shows. We'll be bringing in the fighters to do shows and so on and so forth. Basically, it's a rolling ball. We'll keep everybody involved everywhere, constantly.
Yes.
Not only is this giving guys good work, plenty of money, getting them back on the road to recovery, getting them back up to that level where they stay at pro, and helping. It helps everybody. It helps their families out. It helps them out. It builds up our team.
Yeah.
We like, myself and John Clark, we like to call it our family. So we do. And again, we've got Lawrence in the Philippines. He's one of our brothers. So there's Lawrence, John, and myself. John's the CEO of IFC.
Right.
Lawrence runs the Philippine side of life. So between the three of us, we're going to keep the ball rolling. We're going to keep pushing things in, new events, make everything exciting, so on, you know.
Yes.
And that basically deals with Section 75 at this moment in time. We also have the Sean project, which is run from here.
Right. How do you spell that, Ian? How do you spell that?
How do you spell Sean?
Yeah.
SHANNON. The Sean project.
Right, you are. Yeah. Okay. Right.
Now, basically, what the Sean project is, we will be putting funds in from Cage Gladiators, etc., the same way we do with Rehab Youth and so on. But what the Sean project basically does, we will work with the trust here, the likes of the hospitals, the different people around that sort of trust society, with the disabled, the difficult learning process and so on for children and adults.
Yeah. And
basically, we are building a hotel in North Belfast.
Okay.
To take the people in. They have a room. It's a 100 bed hotel. We have a room which each student or person will have. They will learn different skills like cooking, house cleaning skills, so on and so forth, right throughout the period of the year.
I see.
And they will come and stay in that room maybe for a week or so on and so forth. They'll do housekeeping skills and all that sort of thing. John's actually the man that actually deals with that. I know quite a bit about it, but John deals with the whole scenario of it.
Yes.
Now, the site's costing us 2.7 million. It's costing us basically the same to build a hotel. And it should be, fingers crossed, touch wood, within lockdown being lifted, we should be we're ground zero at the minute. Lockdown's lifted, we should be laying the first bricks and getting it done straight away.
Good.
ASAP. And as I say, that's where our offices will be here as well.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be numerous offices up there. There'll be social event gatherings. There'll be board rooms. There'll also be rooms that are left aside for fighters coming into the country.
Right.
Where we will accommodate them there and look after them there. Also, so basically, nothing. We're looking after them. We pay everything. It's our hotel. We'll bring them in and we'll take it from there whenever there's any fights or events in this country. We'll also keep the bands in here and so on and so forth. And also what the Sean project will do is the likes of Belfast here, Northern Ireland, Southern Ireland, if, say, for example, we have, just off the top of my head, if we've got 300 families that need a house, need a home, they're homeless, we're going to build these houses. We're going to build 300 houses. We're going to give them the key. And that's it. That's your house. Away you go.
Right.
Simple as that. We're not asking any money for it. For each individual person, we're not asking any money. We will just give them a house. Simple as that. Anybody that's on what we intend to do as well, hopefully when all this lifts, anybody that's actually living on the street or anybody that's struggling or having a hard time in life day to day, we will basically go out them and sort them out. If they need a house, they need a building, we will, whatever the case may be, we will get them a roof over their head, we'll give them money, we'll get them sorted out, we'll take care of them, we'll look after them, we'll get them back on their feet.
It's great stuff, Ian. And some of the people, obviously, well, whether it's the more cynical amongst us or not, but it begs the question, where is some of the funding coming from? Are some of the big businesses over in Belfast, have they stepped forward? Are they going to help with any of the fiscal costs?
Well, basically, we have a lot of sponsors, and the trust have said to themselves, they're on board with us.
Yeah.
They will help us out. And we have investors also.
Great.
We've investors in Spain. We also have a hedge fund, which will be putting in 5 million as soon as this lifts. And then we will be putting 150 million in further down the line. So basically anything, when our tournament starts or our fighting starts, we are not retaining anything as a company on a personal level. It'll all be put back into the company. It'll be put back into the fighters. It'll be put back into the people. I don't want anything. I don't need anything. I don't require anything. I live day by day, which is happy enough for me. I'm breathing. That's the way I am. But as I say, every penny will be put back into the company. It'll be put back into rehab youth. It'll be put back into the Sean project. Everything will be put back in. As soon as everything comes in, we'll be putting it back into all those different sections of IFC.
Great stuff, Ian. And I think, can I just ask on there was one point I think it would be remiss not to bring up, because as you know, particularly when you're working with the vulnerable, when you're working with children in particular, it's a sensitive issue. And what people, I guess, would be thinking for me to ask you is, have you got the requisite people on board that have got experience in working with the children? Because, you know, again, if people are cynical, they're like, well, what right has Ian got, or John, or anyone, to be working with the youngsters? So can you just explain a bit about what does qualify you?
Certainly. I mean, for the trust side of life, anybody that comes on board with the trust side of life and the people with mental issues, we have got psychologists on board, we have got nurses on board, we've got all the relevant people to cover all the relevant issues that we are addressing here.
Great stuff.
Anybody that we don't have, we will certainly have. we do things, and I certainly like to do things dotting the I's and crossing the T's, and so does
Yes.
John. So all this is in front of us, all is pared down, everything is laid out. So we're ready to rock and roll, we're ready to go.
Great.
Everybody's licensed, everybody's done this, everybody's ticked all the boxes.
Yes, yes.
I mean, we've held over, personally myself, we've held over 150, 200 interviews at this moment in time. And as I say again, we've got all the relevant people with the proper qualifications to carry out the jobs that we require doing.
Ah, good man. No, that's very reassuring. Very reassuring. Wonderful. And now, moving on from that, can you just tell us a bit about the actual location? Because I remember John said it is in a beautiful part of Belfast. I'm not familiar with the area. Can you explain it to the listener?
Certainly, yeah. This is just the dream. This is where dreams are built. This is where you go out to get a breath of fresh air, and it just clears your mind. Now, it's in North Belfast. It's on the Antrim Road. It's near Belfast Zoo.
Right.
It's a couple of miles actually from Belfast Zoo, but excuse me, but it's actually overlooking the harbour, Belfast Harbour, and you can see right out in a clear day. You can see Scotland and everywhere.
Magic.
And it's so high up. It's beautiful. You're looking down on it all, and that, I mean. Jokingly aside, I had said to John one day, the boats are coming in, everybody's coming in, and they're seeing, we can see them, but they can't see us.
Right.
Let's design the hotel so they can see us. So I said to John, let's just build the hotel in the shape of the QE2.
Right.
And he laughed and I laughed, and I thought, well, it mightn't be a bad thing.
Yeah.
But the actual hotel is going to be tremendous. It's going to have balconies that actually look out onto there, and for the likes of the disabled people and the people that's going to be using it will just be reborn. You go up there and you just feel as if you're on top of the world.
Magic, yeah.
Yeah. It's a special place, a very special place.
Yeah.
And that's one of the whole reasons for building it there.
Great stuff. Ian, and as you say, as soon as this lifts and you are actually able to get builders out on the plot, is there an estimated sort of time of completion? Do they know? Obviously, these things can run over, as they invariably do, but roughly speaking.
We are looking at this moment in time. We don't know where it's going to lift. We obviously, nobody knows at this moment in time. Approximately around about 8 to 9 months.
Okay. Yeah.
We're looking at the build, and if we can do it faster than 9 months, trust me, James, we will do it faster, but it will be done properly.
Sure. Yeah.
And myself and John will be the first ones that lay on the foundations.
Wonderful.
Physically, we will physically lay the foundations.
Yeah, no, Ian, it really does sound very exciting, and it's very obvious to me when I hear you talk about it, your passion. If I may, Ian, speaking to that passion, can you maybe elaborate a bit more where that comes from, that drive to help others? Where does that come from?
It's hard to say, James. I mean, I grew up as a middle-class working family. My mother and father, well, they went out and worked, and we didn't really have much, but we got by on what we had. Yeah. I have a sister and brother. We shared a bike amongst three of us. So basically, new clothes and all that sort of thing back in the 60s wasn't, you never had new clothes. No. But your mother and father tried their best to get you what you needed, and you were well fed and well looked after. So I would say that, it comes from there. It comes from my background as being just a normal person, not wanting. I've never wanted for anything, to tell you the God's honest truth. Money had never reared me, never will. And I would rather give somebody that's struggling my money and I do without. Because at the end of the day, we're all survivors. I'm being looked after by the universe. There's people up above there looking after us and saying, like, this is what you need to do. This is how you need to guide these people. I'm giving you the gift, myself, John and Lawrence, I'm giving you the gift to help these people through what you can do.
Yes.
And basically that's how I feel. I mean, I spent a lot of years fighting, spent most of my lifetime fighting. And it comes to a stage in your life where you think, fighting's all right, but you need to tap in self to your inside and see what your soul wants,
Yes.
And be happy with yourself and move on. And I am at my happiest when I can help people.
Fair play.
If I can give people my last penny and I can breathe and see the sunshine every day, that's good enough for me.
Oh, it's very well said, Ian, and really, really quite humbling. But also, I found in my own life that to be very true. If you can,
Mm-hmm.
if you can sit,
Yeah.
if you can sit in quiet contemplation and be happy with where you are now as a man, as a human being, it's a beautiful place to be, isn't it?
Oh, wonderful, James. Do you see when I wake up in the morning and I open my eyes and I see the sun, I just give thanks that I'm alive that day.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I can move on from then.
Oh, it's a
I
beautiful
take
thing.
one day at a time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Ian, is this something, because I know you're a family man and I know you're a hardworking father. Indeed, you have many children. Is this something, the gratitude, the thanks for one's health, is this something you do try and pass on to them?
Certainly, without a doubt, without a doubt. As I say, we're all under pressure working, and I mean, I give my best to my children. Not in monetary terms,
No.
they get what they need to survive. They get looked after, but I make sure that they have hugs and kisses every day, and I make sure they're happy and there's smiles on their faces. They're like all kids, they play about, they fight, so on and so forth, they squeal, but that's all part of it. You
Sure.
know what I mean? They're being kids, they're being children, and I want to shape the future for my kids and kids of our generation. I
Wonderful.
don't want our generation growing up and not knowing how good life is.
Yeah, no, well said, Ian. And I'd like just at this point, because to give those that may have not seen the first part of our powerful interview, just a bit of
Uh-huh.
context and contrast, Ian. Why Remind me why you are so uniquely positioned as you are to talk, and this is why I love to hear you talk about it. You want the groups to come together, particularly in Ireland. Why is this important to you? Because explain why you've seen why that hasn't always been so in your generation and lifetime.
Well, basically, in my generation and younger years, there's always been a separation. And it's not only here, it's worldwide. You have Catholics, you have Protestants, you have this, you have paramilitaries this side, you have paramilitaries that side. Basically, across the world, you've got the same. You've got gangs, you've got tribes fighting against each other. There's no point. At the end of the day, we're human beings. Everybody will die. You breathe air, you'll die. Simple fact. What is the point in everybody fighting when everybody can join together and be sure and live in quietness and know that everybody has been treated the same and fairly? That's the whole reason I do this,
Yes.
because I want to get rid of them tribes, get rid of he's this, he's that, he's done this, he's done that. Bring everybody together. Like they said in World War II, no man's land, go out and shake hands, become friends, get on with life, help each other. No thieving, no robbing, no nothing. If you need something, all you have to do is ask or make a phone call. It'll be sorted out, whatever. I just want everybody to come together. We're all human beings, no matter what race, what religion, or whatever the case may be. We're all born from the same flesh and blood.
Yes, no, well said, Ian. No, it's very, very. And can you, obviously, with what you're happy to share, but can you speak, albeit briefly, on, you know, you spoke about last time you were a soldier, and how
Yes.
that powerful background has shaped some of your more peaceful thoughts today. This is what I'm particularly interested in, this lovely contrast. You can talk about peace, and why I so passionately love to talk to people that have experienced violence, for they have a real right to talk about peace, having experienced the contrast. This is what fascinates me. So can you talk about that, please, Ian?
Well, basically, I joined um, the British Army at a young age. The simple fact was, I was a teenager, I was a rebel, I was turning good into evil, I was getting bad, stealing stuff. So, yeah, I ended up joining the army at a young age, and what a culture shock. Yes, being told what to do, how to do it, being shouted at, being screamed at. Uh, Everything basically took a long time to get into my brain, to get into the way of what they used to call it was a family regiment. Everybody was the same. There was no difference, Catholic, Protestants, within that unit,
Mm.
within that regiment. Uh, I quickly then get used to being disciplined, being shouted at, and then it clicked one day. This is why I'm being disciplined. This is why I'm being shouted at. This is why I'm being put in military jail. This is why this is happening, because they put you on a path where everybody's the same. There is no difference. And they use the discipline side of it to get you in line. But once you're in line, you can actually see the light at the end of the tunnel and the reasons for that. Right. Now, 1-2 years into my career, we went different places like the Falklands, Bosnia, uh, America. Basically, we traveled all over the world. We done exercises and we're in war zones and so on and so forth, in Afghanistan and so on. Uh, it's a horrible thing to be in, but back then, this is what you signed up for. This is what you did. You were out protecting your country, you were protecting the people so they could sleep at night, and so on and so forth. And it sort of shaped me as a person, as a soldier, but a person for and foremost. It made me the man I was and the man I am today. The simple fact that I told the line, I changed myself. They changed me, and I changed myself.
Right.
And it came to the point where I was near retirement, and everything changed completely. I didn't want for myself. I didn't want a good career. I didn't want luxury. I wanted to help people because I had been there. I never wanted for anything when I was in the army. We had married accommodation. The house was painted for you whenever you needed painted. Things were fixed. You never had to pay for anything. You know, I was living a life of luxury. We had tax-free cars. We had everything, and money was no object. But yet again, I was away quite a lot when I was in the army, different stations in different countries, and my first marriage had fell apart. I asked for a posting to come back here, and everything fell apart. So I ended up separating and getting divorced, which my first marriage I had 2 children to. Now, it took me a while to get over that, but I actually came up tops with that and basically started getting my life back into shape again.
Good.
And I knew which direction I wanted to follow. And I started following that direction, as I say, back into the fighting scene, started going away, started doing tournaments and so on and so forth, and doing what I had to do, and basically get a bit of money in, get myself back on level ground.
Yeah.
And from then, it's just snowballed, and it's, you know, I help everybody that I can, and I was basically single for, I would say, 5 or 6 years.
Right.
Yeah, 5 or 6 years working away. I was doing the doors in Belfast, a bouncer in Belfast doing the doors. Once I was finishing the doors, I was getting into fighting events and so on and so forth. I'd done this for over 2.5, 3 years. And then I thought to myself, I need somebody in my life. And I prayed. I said, look, if you're up there, sort this out. I don't mince my words. I don't sit down and pray properly. I said, if you're up there, you sort this out. You need to tell me what is going to happen. I need a partner. I need this. I need that. But at this stage of the game, I couldn't have children because they had told me because of injuries and stuff. And I tried to get the reversal and all done, and it didn't work. And I just left it. And basically, after I had prayed about a year and a half later, I met my partner, and we had one. Lauren had one child of her own from a previous relationship. Carson was 18 months, and I said, what spoke about it, and I said, like, I don't think we can really have children. All of a sudden, Max bounced out. Then Jesse bounced out. Then the twins bounced out. And then Evan bounced out. And then the baby bounced out. So we ended up with 9 kids.
Amazing.
And Evan is 2 years of age. Or Harper's actually 2.5 years of age. Evan has just turned 4. The twins are 5, Jacob and Ella. And Jesse's 8, Max is 9, and Carson's 11.
Oh, wonderful.
So, yeah. And people were saying, well, how are you going to cope? How are you going to do this? How are you going to do that? You just get on with it.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Ian, can you talk briefly on the kind of future you do want to see come about in your lifetime for your children?
For my children, I want them to see a happy life, be comfortable in life, and have the same mindset as I do for looking after people. Yeah. And again, as individuals, they'll make their own choice of what they want to do in their own future. But the companies are there for them to follow my footsteps. And I'd be so glad if they actually did. The simple fact is, I'd be so proud for them to do what I'm doing for other people.
Yes.
And try to have other people to have a family like ours. And a worldwide family like we have in Ireland and Northern Ireland here. Everybody a brother and sister, no fighting, no nothing. I want to see a future of no wars, no fighting, no nothing. And we can do that through Cage Gladiators and IFC.
Wonderful.
And showing people that, yes, it may be fighting, but it's controlled, disciplined, yes. And it is done in the proper manner.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're not hurting anybody. Everything's controlled, everything's done properly, and this is providing ABC for everything else.
Wonderful. Oh, wonderful. Ian, we're coming to an end for our time together, but I wanted to cover just a few more things, if I may. And one of them, I just wanted to put the question to you. Could you share maybe 1 or 2 bits of the best bits of advice you've been given, brother, in your life that hold true? What's a great bit of advice that you've been given?
Best bits of advice I've ever been given is love yourself before you love anybody else. And if you can't love yourself, you can't move on and love anybody else. Look after people. Look after kids. Always tell the truth. Always be upfront. If you can't do something, say. If you're looking something, ask for it.
Yeah.
And everything will be given to you.
Beautiful.
And always be truthful to yourself.
Yeah. I love it. Ian, and just one last thing, please. Looking ahead and hopefully, and I'm talking about decades and decades and decades, but when your time on this incredible world is done, how would you like to be remembered, my friend?
Just me. That's it. Just me.
Lovely. No, it's beautiful. Ian, I want to thank you again for your time today. I've really, really enjoyed talking with you, and I thank you for your transparency. I thank you for your honesty as always, and I thank you for your commitment to trying to doing your part now to make your part
Yeah.
of the world a more peaceful place. I really do respect that, as you know, and as always, I've really enjoyed talking to you. So thank you for your time.
Can I say just one more thing, James?
Absolutely, we've got 3 minutes. Absolutely.
No problem. These are the guys. If anybody comes in contact with them or anybody wants to speak to them, they are the most honest and giving people in the world, and they will always steer you properly. Which is John Clark. His initials are JC. I call him Jesus Christ. John Clark, Dave Bell, Lawrence Canavan, and Kevin Boyd. They are all part of our team, our family.
Right.
And anybody who comes across them, they're the most honest people in the world.
Lovely, lovely. And was there any? I forgot to say about any social media links you just wanted to mention. Any Facebook pages? I know you've spoken about Section 75. Is there any links or websites that people can look at, Ian?
Well, Section 75 is on Facebook.
Right.
That's obviously one of the platforms. Rehab Youth's on it as well.
Going.
And basically, cagegladiators.com is where we register all our fighters onto. So they can go on the Cage Gladiators website and have a good look at it there. All you have to do is type in cagegladiators.com. We'll take you straight onto it.
And you are looking
We
to,
also have,
you're actually looking to recruit fighters as well for the future. Is that correct?
yes, James, I want to, if I can take the world's fighters, I'll have them. At this moment in time, we have, I'm not going to put it out there at the moment in time, but we have well over 1,000 fighters at this moment in time. Plus, on my Facebook alone, I have 3,795 friends. Now, there's only 4 of them that aren't fighters.
Goodness. Yeah.
And they're all pro fighters.
Magic. Yeah.
And they're all very close friends of mine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's right throughout the world.
Great stuff. No, Ian, as always, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks again for your time. And no doubt we will talk very soon, brother.
No problem, brother. Thank you very much. You're a very endearing gentleman, and thank you for your time.